everyone, welcome to the geography class of class 10th. The lesson that I am going to continue today is interpretation of topographical maps part 2. The topic that I am going to cover today is drainage pattern formed by the various streams on the topographical maps. Now children, what do you mean by drainage pattern? The drainage pattern means the special arrangement of streams in a particular region. The drainage pattern actually reflects or shows the relief, shape of the land and climatic conditions, etc. Children, we have already studied about the pattern of drainage system in the topographical maps through conventional signs and symbol. Generally, 4 distinct drainage patterns can be recognized on the topographical maps. They are dendritic drainage pattern, tilized, radial and disappearing streams. Now let us identify them on the topographical sheets. For this, open your book on page number 50, topo sheet number 45D7 with the eastings 91201 and northings 73283. Now let us identify the drainage pattern in grid 9574. Now you can see that in this grid, in the center, we have brown line indicating the contour lines. From this, various streams in black color are radiating out in different directions from its center or the watershed. So this grid, that is 9574, has the radial drainage pattern. Now let us see the drainage pattern in another grid, that is 9975. Here you can see that the streams are joining the main river at the angle of 90 degree. Hence, in this grid, that is in 9976, we have tilized drainage pattern. Now, coming to the next grids. Let us find out the drainage pattern in grid 8, in grid 9382. Here you can see that the streams are forming the pattern like the veins of a leaf. Hence, in this grid, that is 9382 grid, we have dendritic drainage pattern. Now coming to the next grid, let us take this grid, that is 9575. Here we have the black broken lines. These broken lines indicate that the drainage pattern in this grid is disappearing stream. Now children, these disappearing streams are mainly found in Rajasthan due to the presence of porous sandy soil. Number 2, due to the presence of highland between the main river and the stream. Third reason, in deserts we know that the temperature is quite high and there is excess evaporation. So, there are 3 reasons for the formation of disappearing streams in a given grid, that is 9575. So, in this way, we have recognized in this topo sheet are 4 types of drainage pattern, that is radial, dendritic, trellised and disappearing stream. Now your homework is to find out the drainage pattern of the questions related to the drainage pattern in your Ratnasagar book on the pages 24, 26, 28, 30 and 32. Other than the dry streams, we have here the main river Banas. This river, as you can see, is speckled from inside. That is, we have black dots in this river, which shows that this is the river with the sandy bed. Moreover, we have a white patch over here. This white patch shows that this river is with island and rocks. Then this river is also having a blue line, which indicates that it is the river with the water channel. That is, it is having the source of water. Now let us find out the man-made and natural features in grid 9376. Now as we can see that here we have a red thin line. So these are the cart rakes, which are man-made feature here. Then we have next, here we have these settlements in red. They are also man-made. Then we have a temple here with a dome shape at the top and a line in the center indicating that this is a temple. It is also a man-made feature. Then we have here blue dots indicating perennial lined wells, a man-made feature again. Now let us look for the natural features in the same grid. The first most important natural feature is yellow color cultivable land. Second, we have deciduous trees shown in green here. Third, brown dot indicates sand dunes. So in this way, we can find out both man-made as natural features in a grid. I will refer to one more grid for finding out the same. Now let us take this grid 9274. Here we can see these red squares indicating the settlements which are man-made feature. Secondly, here we have this red thin lines indicating the cart tracks, again as a man-made feature. Then coming to these blue dots indicating the presence of perennial lined wells, a man-made feature. Now let us see the natural features in the same grid, that is in grid 9274. Here we have green colored trees indicating deciduous trees. Then we have brown dots showing the sand dunes as a natural feature. Then the next natural feature given in this is yellow color cultivable land. Now another important natural feature in this grid is a dry tank indicated by a black circle speckled inside. So in this way, now we have found the man-made and natural features in grade 9274. I hope that now you have come to know how do we calculate the man-made and natural features in a given grid in the topographical map. So your homework is to solve the questions related to man-made and natural features given on pages 24, 26, 28, 30 and 32 of your Ratnasagar book. Now children, let us find out the means of transport given in the part of this topographical map. Children, means of transport always depends upon the type of relief, that is landform and drainage. Here we have yellow color cultivable land indicating that this is a plain area. So here the means of transport are well developed. Now let us find out the means of transport with the help of symbols in this part of the topographical map. First of all, in this corner you can see two red broad lines. It is appearing that they are the single line, red broad line, indicating that it is a metal road. Metal road is a pakka road made up of concrete and tar. It connects the main town with the other parts of the map and shows the development of that settlement or that town. Here you can see the red thin lines. These red thin line indicates the presence of cart track. As we have already studied, cart track is a temporary path made by the footprints of bullock cart and horse cart. Then you can see here a red broken line is moving. This red broken line indicates the presence of a pack track. Pack track is again path made by animals. Then we have here a black line with the hashed lines in between with the word written RS beside it. This shows the presence of a railway line with the station. So here in this part of the topographical map we can see that there are well developed means of transport like metal roads indicated by a red broad line, cart tracks indicated by red thin lines, pack track indicated by a single red broken line, and a railway line with a station indicated by a black line divided like this with the word written RS beside it. So children, I hope that you have come to know how can we find out the means of transport in the given part of the topographical map. But children, in hilly areas we have a little bit different scenario for the development of roads, as we know that on very high altitudes and mountainous areas the roads cannot be built easily. So there a footpath is made. A footpath is a path which is made by the regular movement of the people. Now let us see what is the symbol for a footpath shown here. Now starting from the top, this is your book, Ratnasagar book, page number 55. This is the map of topographical map of a hill station with Mount Abu as the most famous hill station here. So here, starting from the grid 2318, you can see a red dotted line. I am bringing close. You can see a red small dotted line moving down, indicating the presence of a footpath. Now children, let us study the land use, location of natural vegetation type, cultivated areas and irrigation types on the topographical maps. In the topographical maps, the location of vegetation is closely related to relief, that is, its landform. Like in the highlands, vegetation is shown by the means of green color along with the contours in brown, showing the elevation or the height. To show the density of this wooded areas, that is forest areas, we use different terms to show the vegetation. Like in this map you can see, first of all, here the word written fairly dense mixed jungle. Then we have the second, that is here open mixed jungle and dense jungle. So in this way the different type of vegetation are shown in the wooded or the forest areas. To know more about the land use, refer to your page number 45 of Ratnasagar book, topo sheet number 45 D10 with the eastings 02 to 10 and northings 19 to 28. Here you can see in this topo sheet, most probably the yellow color cultivable land is there. In this yellow color cultivable land, mostly agriculture is practiced, as it indicates a plain area where the crops can be grown easily. Then we have uncultivable land shown in white on the topographical maps, as you can see here, white color land. Here we have the features of land use such as rock outcrop. The symbol for it is rock outcrop written in black. In such a region, subsoil is exposed to the wind in the absence of the topsoil, as topsoil is eroded by the wind and cultivation is not possible. Then we have sheet rock. Sheet rock is an area which is covered by a sheet of rock. It is again shown in white. Here the word sheet rock is written, indicating that it is an area covered by a sheet of rock with the white color land. It is again an uncultivable land. Then in the white color the word open scrub is written. Open scrub is the scrub land where mostly sheep and goat rearing is practiced. So in this way we see the different land use on the topographical maps, the location of natural vegetation and its type, the cultivable lands. I hope that now you will be able to find out the different land use on the topographical maps. So now your homework is to find out the questions related to the use of agriculture land given in your Ratnasagar book on pages 24, 26, 28, 30 and 32. Now children, next important topic is to identify the means of irrigation on the topographical maps. For this you need to refer your page number 49 of Ratnasagar book, topo sheet number 45 D10 with the eastings 18 to 26 and northings 19 to 28. Here you can see this feature. This is a reservoir or a talao. It is a man-made artificial tank with this embankment along its side to store water. This is the first means of irrigation given in this map. Then you can see blue colored dots here on the topographical maps, like this blue colored circles. They indicate the presence of perennial lined wells. Now perennial lined wells are the wells that have water throughout the year. So these are the two main means of irrigation in this. Then you can see here in the same topo sheet, a canal is there. This is the another important means of irrigation that diverts the river water that is of Sipu Nadi to this area for irrigation. Canal is a man-made channel to divert the river water to the agriculture land. So in this way, we locate or identify the means of irrigation on the topographical maps. Now your homework is to solve the questions related to means of irrigation given in your Ratna Sagar books from pages 24, 26, 28, 30 and 32. Thank you and have a nice